friends. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the Sovereign Soul. I am so excited for today's episode. Yes, I know I say it every time I start. It's my intro, but it's also my whole heart. The amazing speakers that we've had come and grace the podcast are, oh my gosh, my whole heart is exploding. Today, of course, we've got an amazing, amazing energy that is going to be blessing you with so many amazing golden nuggets. I can't wait to receive, so we're just going to get right into it. Miss Colleen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for supporting our listeners today with whatever it is that's coming through. Because Spirit, your guides, my guides, the whole tribe is standing here, and I'm like, it's already hot in here. And it's not my menopause. It's not perimenopause. This is energy, people. I'm so excited. Can you start us off by giving us an intro? Tell us who you are.
Yeah, oh my gosh, this is so fun. You know, it's really interesting. Whenever I go every Saturday to get a massage, and she's like an energy worker slash massage therapist slash medium. Like, you just like put her in a pocket and she's like in it, right? So, and she says to me, every single time you come in, my body starts to heat up, and throughout the whole massage, it feels like I'm sweating bullets. And so it's like how the intro came through for you. It's like, welcome to the heat, everybody. Welcome to the fire. I do use a lot of fire energy in my work, and I use a lot of it in transmutation. I do a lot of activation work. And so I wear multiple hats, like I'm sure all of you guys do. You know, we're all multidimensional people, whether in business or in life. You know, we're moving through that. But I do a lot of shadow work. So meaning I help people really like hold their hands through the shadow, because most of us are avoiding that work, but that's the work we need to move through in order to get to our full like illumination, let's just call it. I'm soul mission activator, channeler, psychic medium. I don't know, I do a lot of cool stuff. I talk to dragons all the time. Like I do a lot of cool things. I speak, sing light language. I don't know, like we can kind of move wherever we want to go in this.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, what? See, this is the thing about this podcast. And you know what? My team's probably going to be like, yeah, and we need to talk about that thing. But I go where it goes. It is what it is. I don't have a framework. People that know me, they appreciate that. I appreciate that because, you know, we're working on not being perfect. And by that, I mean not making it oh so structured. All right, let her intro, then go into this question. I don't do that on the podcast, and it flows so beautifully, and things just, oh my gosh, the feedback is incredible. I don't even know where I want to start with you, because the dragon part, like my dragon Mazu has been so present. He is a golden dragon, a golden healer dragon, and he is just, oh my gosh, I love the energy of dragon, love the energy of dragon. Let's start, let's see, give me a question. Oh, they want to talk about your story. Oh, of course. Like, why not? Let's talk about your story. Why Colleen? Why Colleen? Why what you do? Where did it start? Walk me through it.
So like just like everything, I'm sure it started way before this moment of time that I'm about to express to you, because I met my first spiritual mentor 16 years ago, the one I actually paid money to be in her world. I'm sure I had multiple others before that in awareness, but I met this woman at this house once. She came over, and I was working with this mentor, literally working for this mentor, and she was brought in to help him with some of the stuff that he was going to be doing, and I just was like, I need to meet with this woman. And at the time, I was in it for the long haul. My mentor was paying me only $1,000 a month to work for him, and I worked 7 days a week, 18-hour days. He literally kept this noose around my neck, like knowing my potential. It's all part of the amazing story, though.
So is.
Of how this all came to life. Yeah, you know, in the space of it all. And I needed to be in that space to meet her for this whole ripple effect to start to happen and all this stuff. But all I knew was I needed to meet with her. And I didn't have the cash flow. Like I paid $500 in rent every month. You know, the rest of it I had to use for cell phone, to eat, all the other minimalistic things that we just need, like soap, you know, like things like this in the space and stuff.
We appreciate that. People in your space, they appreciate that.
You know, like in the space of everything. So there wasn't a lot of money, but all just intuition just kept saying, you need to do a session with her. And I had no idea why. I had no clue what she was about to do. I wasn't really tapped in, although I was always tapped in, but I wasn't like understanding where I am today, you know, where I'm like, shh, the channel's open. The channel's always open, but I didn't understand the channel. Okay, so like at all. And so I took my, like literally probably took me 2 years to actually get back on track after this, but I took my payment for my phone bill and gave it to her to come and have a session. And at first she didn't want to work with me because I had an entity in my energy field, which we found out about a year later, that had been with me since I was 18 months old. So it was like I had this alter ego that was ruling my life in the shadow aspect of things. And she could feel it and see it, but Spirit was like, she needs your help. And so she ended up saying yes on a long weekend in May in Canada. That's where I'm from originally. And I met her on the Monday. And we chatted, and she does this kind of channeled modality called laser, where she would just go in, remove stuff with this laser that she had in this process. You know, all of us have our multidimensional gifts that we have, right? And all I knew was like we were calibrating me for $10,000 months. And she said to me right before we were about to do it, I just need you to understand your whole life is about to change. And all I knew was I had to say yes. That's all I knew. Yeah. And so literally a couple days later, I don't know how I even got time off, but I did. A couple days later, I went back into work and the whole illusion had changed. Everything was different. I saw through all the veils, all the illusions had shifted, and within a month's time, I was out of the door of that space, starting my own company from scratch 16 years ago that I had no idea what I was doing, but all I knew was I had to, because all of a sudden all this energy had shifted and changed. And that's kind of how the journey began, like a really deeply rooted trust in what I was hearing and feeling and seeing and knowing, and being able to kind of step behind that to move forward.
Yeah.
Are you getting feedback from me?
No, you're good.
Okay, good, perfect. Okay, good.
Amazing. Yeah, I resonate with so very much of that story, and my guides are like, many people are definitely resonating with that. How do I want to put it in words? Show me how to put it. Like, it is literally like so many people are going to go, yes, in that divine moment, at that place, and I had that experience or that person or that job that was that, I'm using air quotes, noose that was making me feel so much restriction that I was questioning. It made me question, WTF, like, come on, this is ridiculous, this can't be real, or this can't be life, or this can't be it. Insert said support, I know this is verbatim in my world as well. And the other really cool thing, and I'm going to say cool because of where we are in this moment, it wasn't cool at that time, but I too had a mentor who was meant to be in my world to bring me forward, but then was meant to do all of the trickery. You know what I mean? The gaslighting, the narcissism, just the backstabbing, befriending, and then just complete abandonment, and like, all this upheaval to just turn around and become this magnificent space for others, knowing how not to do it, knowing how I really truly want to be of service, and the level of integrity that could not have been created if not for that experience. You know what I mean? Oh,
yeah, because you were forged. You were forged in the fire, right? So, I always say this all the time, is like, we cannot teach what we haven't authentically gone through. And even if it's like a step ahead of your people, that step is the imperative step in between the integrity of being able to hold it. And the challenge we're seeing in the industry right now in all the facets, it's like, I say this word all the time to clients. I'm like, it's discernment. It's like, can they actually really teach you what they say? And are they that embodied in the space of, because it's so necessary in the world we're playing in now, especially with what we're being called into and asked to shine brighter within, and we're up against the edges of our own shitstorms in our own life, because we have to move through them in order to get into the purity of where we're meant to lead.
100%. And I love, we're like, literally keep that list right there. Discernment. I don't know, I love words, and when words stick out and are bold in front of my face, we go into them, we dissect them, we really truly get to know them. Discernment is a word that you just use that, yes, you're right, we use it all the time. It's fed back to us, I'm sure, as we channel on
Yeah.
our own stuff, like discernment, discernment, discernment. Discernment does one of two things. It really truly does allow us to see where our leaks are, where our gaps are, where we are in need of some more healing, around confidence, around worthiness, and that type of thing. But discernment is also super duper key, when it comes to elevating the experience. Talk to me about your version of discernment. Talk to me about what you have come to understand about that energy.
Yeah. Well, it just goes back to the beginning of everything about trusting ourselves. Like, we're going to know whether this mentor, this program, this song, this podcast is actually in alignment with our energetics and can get us to where we're desiring to go. We're going to know right off the bat. We're going to get the ping, it's going to be like, fuck yes, or we're going to get the ping that's going to be like, hell no. And I didn't even ask you if I can swear in here, but I was like, I'm just going to swear anyways.
Are
We'll
you
just throw
kidding
an
me?
E.
Have we're still getting to know each other, friends. Let me tell you, when I popped on and saw her energy after feeling it, I was like, oh my God, she is everything I felt she would be. I
Amen.
fucking love it. So
This is what we're
obviously,
talking about, though. Right here
flow.
is exactly this discernment of like, my body's in goosebumps, as like trusting ourselves. So when we got connected, something came into your field that said yes to this experience together. And then I showed up, and I am still a yes because I am showing up authentically in the purity of who I am in the space of it all. And you can count on me to do that every single day of the week because that's who I am. But there is not everybody plays that field. Everyone's wearing masks, or they're pretending to be something that they're not, or they're trying to put you into a cookie cutter box to do it their way because their way is the only way. And it's like that intuitive hit that says fuck yes is the fuck yes. And it doesn't make sense most of the time. We don't know how we're going to make it work sometimes, because sometimes it's like large investments with people, and it's like, I don't know how this is going to fly off or where it's going to come into play. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. Yep. And it's like that space of, but we know deep inside of us that there's something there. Or if we're questioning whether or not we should, there's something there, right?
Yeah.
And trusting that ping every time, no matter what.
Every time. I love that. And they're showing me my natal chart, which I love, because it's like, yes, no, give them like proof, if this makes sense, of exactly what you just said with regards to when you're in energetic alignment with something, it comes together easily and effortlessly. It really, truly does. And again, I felt your energy. I'm seeing you. We're meeting for the first time here on the podcast. There is a deep level of trust in both the spirit realm as well as our physical realm that this is going to be perfect for the sovereign soul. This is going to bring people into understanding more about their sovereignness. And there's lots of stuff to still go into here. But one of the things that I'm loving that they're showing me is in my natal chart, I have a lot of fire. I'm a Pisces. I'm a fish. Yeah. And I'm a water. I use nothing but water. We do so much emotion work. You know what I mean? And so it's like we have to bring the emotion to the fire, And so I'm just loving how this is even more of a compliment, to the energies. You bring the fire, I'll bring the water. You know what I mean? When it gets too hot, I'll be that drink. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there you go.
I use waterfall analogies all the time. Like, even this morning, I woke up this morning and I was under a waterfall in energy. I'm like, let's clear it out into space to start. I don't even, because I'm a Gemini, I don't even use my air element, hardly ever. I use it in honoring, like when I'm outside, when I'm on the beach and I can feel the wind, like I honor the element of air. Yeah. But when it comes to tools and assets and a lot of the work I do, it's fire and water all the time.
Fire and water all the time.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. It's so good. Okay, so one of the areas that I have also dove very, very deep into is the shadow work. Mm-hmm. Shadows, they reveal to us, thank you. Go into what a shadow is. Talk to us about that before we go deeper.
Yeah, so we can, it's multiple facets of this experience. So there's us and our duality inside of us, which holds emotions that are maybe not as brilliantly lit up as some of the other spaces of our emotions, like our peace and love for the earth plane and joy, but we also have self-destruction and self-sabotage and inadequacy and jealousy and feeling unloved and all the other BS that we look through in the space of our evolution. And sometimes our own shadow is blocking us from that expansion, and we've got to dive into our own stuff. But it's also multiple facets. There's also the shadow work of the ancestral lineage lines and your past life timelines, which are technically all happening at once. So we've got this life, and then we've got all these other lives, and then we've got the outside life, which is the 3D mechanism shadow of let's keep the people controlled, let's keep them contained in their boxes, let's make sure that they're, you know, overworked and, you know, in spaces of like scarcity all the time, and they live in fear, because if they live there, then that accelerates inside of them, and then they're not doing the inner work to kind of move through that space. So we've got these portals that we play within. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. We cannot see, feel, honor, or understand our light if there are shadows that block that for us and for the world. And just like you said, there are foundations, there are systems, there are conditioning, there are, oh my gosh, so many things that we can bump up against that can create that shadow. Because if our light was given full permission to be bright, holy cow, could we imagine what this world would really truly look like?
Well, we dismantle all of the conditioning, and that's part of the work that I do. Is like my job, one of the key assets of my job is to bust open conformity. So if you are running in a cycle that's keeping you contained in this 3D matrix box that you've been put into, my job as a mentor, as a guide, as somebody on this podcast to bring in this energy into the field is to bust that open in some way, shape, or form for you to start to consider something else. And then from there, it's all the activation work and all the other stuff that kind of moves around it. But it's so true. Like, and we came down for this experience to be able to, and I say this all the time, the only way through is through. Right? So it's like to actually go through the experience, to learn from it. We pulled all the pieces down with us, and it's like, I'm going in to learn this one and this one and this one this time. And now our humans looking at it going, what the fuck did I decide this bullshit for? You know? Like, it's like, are you sure? I think I picked the wrong backpack on the other side. Because I always talk about, like, we put on our backpack, we slide down the fucking thing, and boom.
Girl, you read my notes. Like, people listening are going to be like, wait a minute. They totally know each other. I promise you, friends. I do not know this person in the physical realm. I know her energetics, and she is just my twin, but you're in Costa Rica. This is so good. I talk about the backpack too. I talk about the conference call that we had before we said, oh my God, this is gonna be so good, and now we're down here going, Tuck, take me back.
I call it the Academy Awards of soul experiences right now. Like, we actually lined up and we're jumping up and down like this in the line going, pick me, I want to go in, I want to go in.
Can you imagine? Like, people, let's pause a moment and give you a minute to let that land.
Yeah, like you chose all of this exactly now with all the dimensions of the stuff that's coming to light, with all the shitstorms happening in the world. You said yes because you knew all of that was going to happen, and you wanted to be a key part of it in some way, shape, or form. Whatever that means for you, because all of us have our own journeys there, right? So
we totally do. And so I can feel some people hanging on to the steering wheel in this moment going, this is freaking, they're batshit crazy. Listen, friend, if you can just allow that to seep in, you chose to be here with us, not just on this podcast listening to us, but you chose to be here on planet Earth, right here, right now. And you chose the situations, the circumstances, the people, the places, the events that you are experiencing. You chose all this right here, right now. And if you did, there is a higher version of you that is overlooking it all going, we know our way through. We already saw it through. We did this thing from start to finish. God would, or the creator would never have said, yeah, Jackie Hopper, that sounds great. Go fuck it up and figure it out. Like, that's not a thing.
I got all the t-shirts, trust me, you know, I got all the t-shirts, I've got all the fucking hats, I've been to all the islands, like, you know, I got the rustic pants that I've worn that have holes in it from blowing them out so many times, because got it all, trust me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Everybody does. If you are on a spiritual journey, let's say you're just starting out, we do not want to scare you, because I promise you, 80% of it is fun and it's great. It's like that depth though, ooh, that is actually really good. When you are on a spiritual journey and when you are doing the energetic work, I like to say you're always poking, you're always scratching, and you're meeting new levels of who you are and who you can become. My expertise is self-mastery. I bring people right to the best version of themselves. I hold the potential, that vision that they have, that vision of their potential. I hold that so closely, and we go right through what needs to be met and worked on so that you can become that best version of you. My gift is seeing the potential and holding it so clearly until you move through and you see that for yourself. You are being that for yourself. And in order for us to enjoy this experience, we do the energetics. We meet the higher version of us and understand that we can, right? First off, that you can. But along the way, we realize that as we poke the bear, or the dragon, since we're talking about dragons, you poke a dragon long enough that the sensitivity heightens. So we think that 20%, and it's probably way less than that. I am dramatic. I'm a Pisces. But that 20% of depth that we seem to like bottom out and like, brick wall feels so much harder because you've been doing so much energy work. I know for me, I can really feel like I'm on my deathbed. If something comes in and my guides are like, you're dramatic, like this is really not that big of a deal. Shift it, let's go. But because of the energetics and the vibration that we maintain on a regular basis, when you dip or you drop, oh my gosh, it's like the elevator just went right down to the basement, and so I want to lend that to people too, because sometimes it is not that deep. It is the illusion that's being created by your ego, because that next level of expansion is going to be so banger.
And one of the things, like, and even just speaking into this is just like, now so now you can look at this stuff differently. When shit's hitting the fan, when you're up against your stuff, like I've been really knee deep over the last year in unworthiness energy as I upgrade, right? So started mastering the higher levels of income a month, like really tapped into wealth portals of energies in the space of that. Launched my first in-person event. I haven't done in-person events for probably like 10 years. And it was in Austin, Texas in September. And it was like, I came up against this, and then I can feel my divine partnerships coming through, and I'm like, fuck, am I worthy enough to hold this? And like all the things, and it was like this unworthiness kept moving through, but I can see it. I can feel her. I know when she's around, and now it gives me those tools and assets to be able to move through that experience quicker, potentially, or more depthful, to be like, why the fuck are you here? And going into that, and it gives you the mark. So it's almost like now you can't unknow. So now that we know, now how do we move through our stuff in more ease and give ourselves more grace and take more responsibility, because we created everything. So if that's true, we can change the creation in any moment of time, in any given moment, because we decide to, and we claim that, and then that's the new energy field we work within.
Yes, that is so incredible. When you are working with your clients, and when we always say, I'm being brought this person's experience and to support this facilitator with moving beyond it. That's the way we like to put it. So it's like, you're not just bringing me a client, AKA a person. I am getting a whole life of experience, of wound, of adventure, of expansion, and we tend to the facilitator, which is the being before us. When they come forward for you, what is the energy that you feel you work with the most from the shadow perspective? Is it the victim energy? Is it the inner child? Is it the saboteur? Is it the prostitute? Like, what do you feel?
Yeah, like, so depending on what's moving through their fields, like there's a lot of scarcity, doubt, inadequacy that kind of show up in my energetic field as they come in first. And my job is to find the root of that. So that's where I go to first, to be like, what's the number one emotion that we're working on that's blocking this experience from coming to life? I do work with a lot of entrepreneurs, but not just solely that, because there's other people that have big missions that come into my field that have nothing to do with impact of money, but has everything to do with that ping of energy, and they need to be activated in order to move through. Like I'm a bridge, I'm a key bridge. So you get into my field, you're ready to step up in your mission full on potency. Like that's how it works.
Same.
In the space of that. And then I go to the root. So like wherever the root is. So if the root's landed in ancestral lineage lines, we're going back there. If it's in a past life or like a timeline life that's happening over here, we go dive into that space, the field of it. And I move through the body structure. I clear out all the energetics. Like I can feel energy moving through my body. So I know what needs to go. I know what tools I need to pull. I know how to move it and how to shift it. And then the next piece of that is like, okay, I got all your energy cleared. Now what? Now we've got to flip the mindset out of the space of, and we've got to get you actioning behind this. What's the first thing we need to do now? And then they'll be like, I need to make this call to do this. And then they get the hit, and then I go and run. And I'm not a long-term mentor. Like I'm not like, hey, buy into 12 months with me. It's not my MO. I do it in 3-month increments or in 30-day increments where it's like, let's get the fucking rapid stuff going on. Or I do one-off sessions even, because it's just like some people just need some tweaks and they need to come in and move through and all the things. But you work with me and you have me in your energy for 3 months, I guarantee you everything that you're desiring is happening if you're actioning behind the work.
100%. And you know, that's the thing right there, friends, that I really want to bring us back to, because as we stated in the beginning, right now, many of you are hearing about the coaching industry and how it's all starting to reveal itself.
Yeah.
You know, in the work that I do as well, the area that is not focused on is the after. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you everything you want to know about why you're where you are and what you need to do and how you can be doing it. But then it's like, okay, cool. And where's the how? Where's the what next? Right?
Yeah.
Where is the upgrade? Where is this vision of potential? Right? That's where a lot of people are falling short, whether it is in their mentorships or whether it is just in your own personal work. It is not enough to just go in, find your root, clear that out. What's next? What are you meant to show up and do now? And who are you? It's pivots and pivots and pivots. You are a new version of you that is online. It's so easy if we don't do that work just as much as we do the clearing. It's so easy to fall back into patterns.
Oh, it's so true. And like, I'll be the first to tell you though, I'm not your accountability coach. Like that's not who I am. Like I can't, like I have challenges being accountable to myself. Never mind trying to walk somebody else through fucking accountability. They're like, I sent you a message this morning about the things I'm gonna do today. I'm like, amazing, just fucking get on it. Like, you know, like I don't need, unless you really need that from me in the space of maybe I can give it to you in one day. Like that's all, like it's not like we're floating so much around. Like I follow the pulse of what needs to happen and transpire in my world. Yeah, I'm still responsible and I still execute. I'm still a human in the space of it all, but I'm not the accountability coach. I am the like get into the meat of raw vulnerability, and I will smack you across the face in a voice note on Telegram if you need to be smacked across the face today to be like, get your fucking shit together. You've got a mission in life and we need to go right now. Okay, so you have the tools and assets, you know, the energy field's clear, I just tapped in, there's nothing blocking you, but you, as the human, sitting on your fucking couch right now, blocking yourself. So get your fucking ass up and go outside and ground into nature and let's fucking go. And that's me. And people can rely upon that from me. I am not the, well, it's okay that you didn't get your work done this week. I'm like, no, we're on a fucking timeline, man. Like, we gotta go. Like, you're in my world for a reason. It's like fuel time. Like, you're not just happening in my space because you're happening in my space, and it would be nice if. It's like, we're on a time crunch now. Like, you're coming into my life. I need to ignite you. We gotta go.
Yes, yes, queen. Oh my God, I love it. All right. For all of my friends that are like, seriously, Jackie, tell us how we find her. Tell us where to go. We will have it all in the show notes, people. But Colleen, give us a moment. Where do you hang out when you are floating and hanging out somewhere? Like, where do you land?
You can come to Instagram. It's like my playground, I call it. So I jam out on Instagram. I'm always in my stories. Like, if you're like, what kind of offers do you have? Just send me a DM. Like, we can chat about some of the perspectives of things like that. But like, Instagram's my playground, and I'm always in Facebook too. So if you like prefer Facebook, you can come follow me there as well. But I don't know. I play in Instagram. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love you. You're coming back. I don't care if you say yes or no. I've already made the decision for you. You will be back on the podcast often.
We got
Like,
lots to talk about. Like we didn't even go anywhere yet, you know?
seriously, there's so much more to explore, my friends. I cannot wait. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us on the podcast. We appreciate you greatly. I cannot wait to further this container, this conversation, all of this in our next episode. Friends, make sure you're giving feedback. Go to JacquelineHopper.com and make sure you are sending us all your questions because Miss Colleen will be here to answer those for you. I promise you. Until next week, I will see you all soon. Sending you all so much love. Bye.
Bye.